So Jennifer's going to eat, and I'm going to talk a little bit. So okay, so do you want to know a little bit about just a slight bit about the gear I use?
Yeah, that would be a great start.
So you know, and I'm kind of budget minded and everything, so I don't have always the fanciest. Sure.
So we can see if I do. I mean, like what I need to add to it,
all right,
what I have that may work. You know, but yeah, starting with yours would be fantastic.
Well, what I've got, this is a Sony Alpha 6400. This is a brand new kind of camera. It's just been out for a couple months.
Take a picture.
Yeah, you can. There's a video of it too. Sony Alpha 6400, A6400. You'll see there, and you can see what kind of lens I'm using. That is my favorite lens there. That's the 18 to 135.
Okay.
It's got a really nice zoom on it, but it's not too much zoom. It's not some, you know. You can get a really nice wide angle. You get a really nice close up if you need to from a distance.
Now, is this a mirrorless?
This is mirrorless.
Okay.
I like mirrorless. Mirrorless is the
I have not tried
mirrorless is the future,
yeah.
and it's so much sharper, and it's you just get great. This shoots 4K video. You see 4K. Now this is the other one that's actually a little fancier, but it's an older camera. So the 6400 took the place of what's called the 6300, but now people are saying the sensor's better in this one than it actually is. So they've not updated this camera. This is the 6500, and so this one, right now I've got a portrait lens on there. I like to shoot. If y'all, if you notice when you're watching the video, you got one that's kind of wide and you see the whole plant around everything. And then I got one and everything's nice and blurry behind them. So this, when I use this one, this has no zoom on it at all. You've got to focus. You fixed. Okay. You get it the right side, and it looks like a picture of somebody that's moving. Yeah. And so and I like to shoot just in this regular video mode, just kind of auto everything. I don't go and set a bunch of.
Do manual? You just put it straight in.
I do, and I'll tell you the reason why is because Sony stuff. If you put it in auto everything, it gets you about 90% where you want to be, and why not just do the rest with software?
Got it.
You know, you can sit there and you can drive yourself crazy.
That would be me.
Sit in all kinds of settings. You know what I'm saying? And now for photos, if I want to go out, shoot a beautiful, like the Linville Gorge, Table Rock, Hawksbill, all that, I might, and it's photos, I'll go into manual settings and I'll get all fiddle with stuff, you know, till I get it just the way I want it. Right. Still shooting camera raw. But for video, I like to just go into their auto, everything, get you 90% where you need to be, and if you can't do the rest of with software, you've not learned yet, but you will. Let me go ahead and do this thing here. Okay, so personal hotspot on. And
you said that you the video you shoot in is 4K.
I shoot in 4K. Okay. Now, and the reason why. Okay, so that I'll connect to that. Okay. Okay. It should show Tony's inside phone. Perfect. Forgive me, and there were little peppers on there. My nose is starting to drip.
If you need me to go grab some tissues, let me know.
Let me make sure this is Tony. You spam buttholes. I hate them. But you know, I do a lot of business out of Charlotte, and I get these calls out of Charlotte now. Okay, so we're on here, but I'll go ahead and open up Premiere.
Okay.
And so, well, still talking gear though. So I use these. I get this nice tripods, you know, to operate with. I do. Me personally, you see in the videos, I shoot. Okay. I shoot a lot with handheld. Now the thing you get with a 6500, you don't get that. Is this has really good stabilization in it. 6400 does not. So you have to you need to hold both. If you shoot with that and hold both hands, right? And you don't try to walk around like that. It will look terrible.
Or use a gimbal.
Or use a gimbal. But you know, most of the times, you know, why do people walk around with them? You know, like the other day, the reason I used the GoPro is it does have stabilization. I wanted to follow him at a distance and get his forklift. Right. So you know, but still, I still know that I'd shoot the forklift shots with camera. Even this one does have good stabilization. And a gimbal to hold a camera that heavy is going to be kind of a heavy gimbal. I still would go with a GoPro or something, or your cell phone like you shot, and use your gimbal for that. The number one thing people forget about big time is this.
What is that?
If your video doesn't sound as good as it looks, and it's horrible. Yeah, you can shoot the best looking video, but the thing that wins me points to everything sounds good.
And the wireless mic?
It's not even wireless. Now you can buy wireless, and I have a wireless set that I don't even use, and it's nice. It's just it's complicated. It's one more thing. I got to charge batteries and receivers, and I got to hook. It's 5 more minutes of setup that I don't usually. So I use these little things, and these are like $20, and it's unreal. This is the Sony. I can't never remember the number of it. I think it's ECSM3. Oh, here it is.
Let me just start an Amazon shopping cart.
Yeah. Sony ECM CS3. You'll probably find it for $20.
CS3.
ECM CS. It's a stereo. That's it.
This right here.
How much is it? Not $20. These things, I've used these for like 10 years.
Wow.
And I've not found anything better. I've got a $100 Shure microphone that doesn't do as good as this.
Wow.
And so
you have 2 of those?
It's stereo. It's on both, so you get kind of a nice sound as long as you get it, 10, 12 inches or inside of the foot of their mouth. You don't want it up. You don't want it up here. You don't really want it under their chin.
Right.
Kind of somewhere down along here, and for some reason it picks up really good local. And 18 feet out, you're not getting hardly anything.
That's awesome.
And they're amazing. And so I put them into a Zoom. Now this is the old version. So you see it's been a little bit more modernized and cool looking. But that's a Zoom H1N. H1N. So you might want to add that to your cart and add one of these to your cart.
Just one of these?
Yep.
Okay.
And, the reason I've got 2 or 3 is sometimes I'll be asked to shoot like 3 or 4 doctors or 2 people interviewing one person interviewing another Zoom H1N.
And what does this do?
It's a recorder, and so because if you're back 6 feet away from, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Awesome. Put it in your cart.
And
it's great. And if you're 6 feet away from the person with this, you're still going to get a very hollow sound. And if we pull up your video here, let's see if I still got it. Let's see, open project. I do know I've got it because I just copied it. Samsung 2, Valdez Weavers. Let's pull up the project. I don't think I've got anything else I need to have open. Okay, it is saying I'm missing my music. Okay. That's okay. And I can leave it offline.
Okay.
Offline all. Okay, so we won't have the music's showing up as red, so it's not there.
I'm going to take a photo of just your big screen.
Sure.
And how it shows. I just want them to see how.
So here is a typical Here's a typical project that this is Catherine. So you see I've edited Catherine's video, and it's a time-consuming thing.
Video.
It's pretty cool. And I've done color correction and all on it, and I've cut the ins. But if you hear, so we know what Catherine. Now this is going to play bad, but we know what Catherine's going to sound like. Let me mute this. So it doesn't even try to play this music.
Okay.
So.
Quality control, absolutely. Those are key points here.
Okay, so that's this audio, right?
Okay.
So here's what the other audio sounds like. Let's mute this one.
But also, I think attitude has a lot to do with it too. We are a team. You have to work with other departments.
Big difference, isn't it?
Yeah. Huge.
So let me mute.
Yeah.
It's design, weaving, all that,
Such a better, from that little mic right there.
So she had this on, and it was connected to this, and then she had this in her pocket? Okay, got it.
That's what I do, and I even tell, guys always have pockets, but if I know I forgot to tell you this time, but I try to tell people, hey, I'm going to come over and shoot. Are we going to shoot a lady? Yeah, we're shooting a lady. Remind them to wear something with a pocket.
Okay.
And then what, she can have a big thing that pulls over, as long as they got a pair of pants or something underneath where they can put something like that.
Yeah.
That way they don't have to hold it in their hand, or it doesn't have to be on a table or something. So
right.
I try to warn ahead of time. I always try to send the list ahead of time of questions. Did I send you that list?
No, but that's okay.
I'll tell you what. Why? Because I'm not doing the interviews with these Tia and Sarah are.
Yeah.
Usually Tia and Sarah, now, for me, when I'm actually doing the same project for Mitchell County that they're doing for Burke County, and I always send everybody the questions in like a Google Drive thing or something. It's cool you got it. Oh, did you bring up a guitar? Oh. Okay. I'm a guitar player. It came up because, anyway.
Yeah, that's so
I was like, man, you got a guitar player in your family? Maybe your husband or your son or something. Anyway, so, all the clips that I'm working with are 4K. And the reason why, I'll show you again here, this is kind of neat. So here is that's a B-roll shot of hands. But what I'll typically do, I'll synchronize 2 versions of the video, get them all together. That's why I did the hand clap at the beginning. I don't know if you noticed that. And that gives me an audio spike on this thing, an audio spike on that, audio spike on that. And then I can get in there and visually, when I get these things, I can line them all up just perfectly. And you can see how here's this audio hump or something where she says something here and it matches up to this.
Yeah.
And this is of course down here. You actually we're not seeing that, but
okay, so the green here, what is that? That's
audio.
Okay, and then all the blue is the actual
video.
video.
And it's really cool. I've got you a tutorial that's going to show you all this.
Yeah.
And you just be patient and watch it. And it'll explain. But the reason I shoot in 4K, so there's that wide angle of Catherine. And if I look here under, let's see, make sure I'm in the right place here, under FX control right here, I can see I'm at 58%. So I've actually blown her up a little bit. If I were to go back and scale this, so let's say that I reset this. I don't want to mess up my thing here, but it was 50% when I started. So that
you were able to just crop in
exactly, and you can see how you're seeing some of the video underneath her. If I turn this off, this is the layer underneath her. If I turn this layer off, you'll see that she's there too.
Right.
So I got her synced to the same place. But let's say that I didn't want to start with her at 58%. Let's say I want to start with her at 62%. Then there she is, and let's say, okay, you know what? I'd rather she was a little bit more this way or a little bit more that way. If I've got that 4K, I've got 4K inside of a 1080p video. Then what I can do, and what's even super cooler, I can tell it over time to scale in and out. And I've given, in that little tutorial I've made, I can show you how to do that.
That's awesome.
I can take that and I can start close, and I can make the videos back out. And it looks like I'm sitting here and doing a real, but it's hard to do.
But you just did it all in the editing.
You do it it's really hard to do it smoothly and change your size this way, right?
Yeah.
But it's real easy to shoot it wide,
and then
make the software do it.
That's the tips
exactly.
and tricks to it
exactly.
right there. Okay.
So anyway, we'll leave that the way that is. But I go through it, and the one thing that Catherine had that nobody knows. See, nobody knows this happens. All these little cuts right here, these little tiny lines.
That's where you've split the clips.
Yeah, and it's because she says a lot.
Yeah. So you can just cut
and
them out.
Eventually drives you crazy.
Oh yeah.
Is the what I'm trying to say, the enemy of really good video.
Right.
So Catherine sounds really eloquent throughout the entire thing. I left a few ums in because they were in spots where you couldn't quite get them out, and they naturally do happen.
Yeah.
But what you hope is almost every one of these is an I'm gonna hope good. That's so. So what I do is
she did have quite a few ums in there.
Well, you wouldn't even probably remember it. When you sit and watch it, I end up watching these things 3 or 4 times. That's where it's you're sitting there going, what do we not need in this?
Yeah.
And there were some things were clear I didn't need, but if I were to turn like this line off, and so this is the B-roll line. This is the line that's, if you watch this, you'd see how, particularly like over here. Let's see what does she do here. Let's got both these turned off, and you'll see where I've cut the...
This company treats their employees really well. I definitely think it fuels your fire, because if the company's doing well, that's money into your pocket. And besides the money...
I actually deleted the video there because I didn't need it, but every one of those, there was like, fuels your fire, because,
Right.
And so I cut every bit of that out. And, of course, when I say B-roll, I'm talking about... turn this has to be back on. I'm getting myself confused. This is off. Okay. No, that's right.
I don't want to mess it up.
And what is that?
I might have to go grab my glasses. I'm so sorry. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, go get the other thing I do before I let anything go out to Jennifer is I add the color to it, and again in the little thing I've done, I showed you what the Lumetri color. There's this thing that says color up here, and you enter into that, and it opens up a color correction panel. Okay. I'll show you a little bit, like say right there, we're seeing our thing of my gosh, I forgot her name already, Catherine. But if I turn that off, let's see, okay, my bad. What am I showing? Maybe I didn't change anything on this one. What's I'm showing it on though? Oh, I did time remapping. Okay, there we go. So you see there's just sort of a gray sheen on everything. Now okay, that brings up, okay, shooting an auto on the camera. When you're shooting in auto on the camera, it is doing a safe color. You're doing 100 megs per second. You're shooting in auto, and so what it is, it's shooting in a mode so that nothing is peaking. And so what, by doing that, it's actually shooting a safe color, and that allows you to go back and do stuff like this that's real subtle.
Right.
And you never even know, like every single clip. If I click on this, you'll see Lumetri colors in there. If I click on this, that's how it originally looked. But I want it to pop a little. I want there to be some sort, just want every single clip when it goes online, like that one. If you, let's see, tell me I'm on the wrong one. Command Z. So let's say this one here, and say you have to be clicked on it. If I turn that off, that's how dark it was. It's kind of grayish looking. It's kind of dull. That just brings it to life.
Yep.
And there's also a plug-in that I bought under my effects, and it's called. I didn't use it on this one because I didn't think I needed it. It's called Cinema Pro or Cinema Grade. CINEMA.
And you just purchased that from Adobe?
No, Cinema Grade you can buy for about $89.
Okay.
And right there it is, Cinema Grade plug-in. And it's really good, particularly if you shot outside, and there are extra bits of color and set some really hard settings you need, but it's super easy to use. And so I didn't need it for any of this because we're shooting inside, and Lumetri handled all the color.
Okay.
So that's how I use these kind of cameras. Nice tripod if I can get it. Thing to do is watch like 60 minutes or something, and watch, or Dateline when they're doing an interview with somebody or something. 60 minutes is good because I usually do 2 cameras, and look at how they're looking.
Right.
That's how I've learned how to do it. I have to say I model almost everything I do on 60 minutes. I just think, when they go to their wide shot, when they go to their narrow shot, their close-up shot, watch an episode of that, and you'll see, okay, then I probably need to have that camera about like that.
Right.
I probably need this other camera about like this.
Yeah.
And you'll see, usually it looks like they do their wide angle outside of, so let's say the person's looking at you, and you're the person over here. On 60 minutes, and then here again me, it looks like the wide angle's a little wider this way, and this one's closer to the person. So you get the heartfelt stuff.
Right.
This close-up shot closer to your head, but still they don't look at the camera. A lot of people will particularly if you don't tell them some boss, he'll want to look right into the camera and he'll want to be talking. To someone. But you know what that does? It's not that that's bad or anything. If it makes it look like a newscast or like a car salesman.
Right. Yeah.
Now if it's your CEO and he's talking to the people, then that's good. But typically, any interview, to make it look more natural, it's better to look off camera. The human people, or human people, the non-human people, human beings like to see, like for it to look like a story, and that's why most of your documentary type people don't want them to look at the camera, because it takes you out of, it takes you away from being a fly on the wall, and all of a sudden, they're talking directly to you, and it's a weird psychological thing. I've read articles about that. Most people would rather not be looked dead in the eye, unless it's a newscast. And it's John Carter and he's talking to you and he's telling you what's going on. You like that because that's like somebody just spouting it off to you. But to tell a story, that's why I try to shoot everybody with that kind of look right there. That's what people are used to seeing.
Right.
And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I use Adobe Audition sometimes to clean up audio.
Adobe Audition.
And you probably already have that.
See,
you have the Creative Cloud.
I do. It's Valdez. I have one of the licenses from Valdez. And
so you'll want to install that.
Well, I don't know that I've downloaded that one yet, though.
You got Encoder. Well, the Encoder comes with Premiere.
Let me see if I can log in here and see if they can.
You'll want Audition. The reason why is sometimes.
Is that kind of like an automated?
No, it is it's an audio program where you can go and you can kill all background noise if you need to with it.
Yeah.
And I use it almost every project, but here again, you probably won't have to use it in the beginning. And I don't know what all applications you're going to use, but I would say download it, and I'll make you a tutorial on just how to use that in conjunction with the video too. But almost everything you're going to do is going to be inside of Premiere.
Okay.
And let's see, what else? Is there anything else I would say? I mean, in my bag, I've just got all my extra batteries, my extra lenses. I got my audio.
So what cards do you shoot on?
Yeah, that's important. Okay, so I like here again. hard for me to get them out. I usually use tweezers to get them out. But Extreme Pro, and you want this U3 Class 10. That's a 256 gigabyte card there. And it's 170 megs a second. It's awesome. Yeah, you can. Okay. Shoot yourself a picture of it. Awesome.
Why the U3?
Okay, well, these cameras shoot 100 megs a second. Your typical, like your iPhone shoots about 26 megs a second. So, and here again, you may not ever need to be as pro as I am, but I would imagine if you're gonna, I'm telling you how to do it professionally.
Yeah.
Now,
I appreciate that.
I will warn you this. You're getting into a cool little world of stuff, but if it ever gets a little over your head, call me and let me know. I mean, I've been doing this I've been doing digital video since 1997.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
That's when I started work here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And so it takes a while to really figure out how to make stuff really professionally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take that much effort to really start making useful, cool video, particularly if it's corporate type stuff that you want to share the message with people, or Facebook, or whatever you want to do with it. Man, I was looking at some of your cloth and stuff. I need to pan across some of your cloth in here today. And I was going to ask you before I leave, can I go out and get a few more loom shots? I think I'm going to need them for what's his name? His biblical name. Ishmael.
Ishmael. I say Jesus.
Ishmael
we
and
do
Esau.
have an Jesus too.
So I think I might need a few. I might not have got as many as
that's fine.
I'd just love to get some more cloth being woven.
I might have to get, just because I'll have to run home because of this delivery thing.
Yeah.
But if he's here, I'll probably just have him to walk you out there.
Yeah, I mean, I just like 15 more minutes over there getting some really good weaving video.
I wanted to show you this video that I made.
Awesome.
Just with my iPhone and that little.
Hit it. Oh, look at that. That looks nice.
Now, I didn't color correct anything.
Yeah.
That
looks great.
I mean, it's kind of like what you said. I've seen other people, like how they do it and how videos work, and
that is excellent.
Tried to make it interesting.
You've got the eye for this. Yeah, you're a natural.
I just don't know how to do all the hard technical stuff yet.
That is awesome. Look at that coat rolling around on the cloth. That's nice.
But I didn't know how to get in there.
Hey, that was great.
Equipment. Oops.
Nothing wrong with that. That's where you're great. You did a great job.
I thought it turned out pretty nice for just a quick throw together.
Yep.
I
love the flare off your light and stuff there.
I mean, it's not very long. It'll be done in a minute. Now, see, I was trying to get in close, but obviously can't get in
doing
that
great.
Close.
And that looks so cool with all that. I wish I wouldn't mind having that bit of video there. And you did your fade out. Did you do that with Final Cut or with
I did it with I can't remember if I did that one with iMovie or if I did it with Final Cut. I think I just threw it together with iMovie real quick because it's like a watered down Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
I didn't do this. We had somebody else do this a couple years ago. This was just, I actually don't like this promo video. I'm not gonna play it because I want to redo it.
You did great.
Thank you.
Very nice. You got a great eye for it.
Thanks.
Yes.
Like, I feel pretty good about. I mean, when I saw you using this equipment, like I've seen, like I've had Rex come in and he's got I forget what he even shoots with too, but I mean he does BMW commercials and travels all over and does some video work. And then, you came in with these Sonys, and then I have a friend, this is totally random, but one of my friends just traded in all his Nikon gear for Sony mirrorless cameras and says, I'm never looking back.
I got Nikons, I got Canons.
And so Sony, this is why I was really impressed.
Awesome color range, super clarity. Here again, we're seeing this size down, but when you see it, let me close out this for a minute. Let's go here and let's actually look at one of the clips. Okay, it's in this one here.
Tell me the name of that one thing again, really quickly.
Which one?
The sound correction.
Oh, Adobe Audition. See, there it is.
Okay.
Install that. That's worth having.
Yeah, let me get that one there too.
See, here's our Valdez Weavers, and so you see what I do here when I do this. I make a folder for 6400. Here's my 6500, Here's my audio, and I put all my audio clips. I till I watched the video, I couldn't remember her name, so I put colorist, Ishmael, shipping dude.
Yeah.
Keon. Keon. And then I put my GoPro stuff in there, and then I put the Mavic Air in there.
Yeah.
And there's the drone clips. When I shot photos, which I've not shared with anybody, I'll give them to you and to.
Okay.
These are like 25 meg photos, are monster huge photos. But I got Sarah likes to have some sometimes, and this won't look good, but yeah, I have to go in. This in camera raw, so I have to go in. I have to totally. So it's in flat color now.
But it's shot with one of the Sonys.
Yeah, it's shot with one of the Sonys. Yeah.
Okay.
And
how do you connect? Like, do you just sync this microphone with the cameras?
Yeah.
Both cameras?
I do. And I don't know. I didn't show that in the tutorial. It'd be good to show you. I did not show that in the tutorial. But what I do is at the beginning. So here I know this is one of our interviews, right?
Yes.
Keon, and you might have heard me when I say I'm gonna clap my hands, Keon, and it's gonna. I'm gonna do a hand clap. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna stop right there. Did my 1, 2, 3. I give that to myself, so I know when I can go ahead and click. Now I put an end point there. That's where you put your end point, mark in.
Okay.
And so I go here, and now I can look at this. I pull it down on the timeline. And if I go in here and kind of, you can grab one of these little lines right here and pull it down so you can see them even better. There, I usually do 2 hand claps because that gives me 2 spikes.
Yep.
I got this muted. I unmuted. So I can see those 2 spikes.
Right.
And then I can go here where the Keon's audio is. Here's Keon's audio. Shipping dude. And you can see I've already put the end point in there. It saves it where I did it. So there are my 2 hand claps. And I just pull them down here like this.
Awesome.
And so I can say, okay, well, there we go. And if they're not perfect, this is the thing. I try to make them perfect. The thing is, you're shooting 24 frames a second or 30 frames a second. And because each second is divided into a 24th of a second, you can be as much as 12, you can be as much as a 20, what's half a 24th?
Oh, don't ask me. I am not a mathematician.
You can be as much as a 48th of a second off. And usually people don't see that, notice that. That's pretty good. I could probably leave that alone, but me, I'm a perfectionist. So what you can do, and this is one of those little pro tips that people don't know. If you go up here above the numbers, and I don't know why they did this. Why did they hide this? If you right click, actually on the line, if you right click where the numbers are, you do this thing called show audio time units, and so this allows you to zoom in beyond the frame rate.
Yeah.
So now I can go in here. That's as far as it would let me zoom. Now I can go this far, and I can start to see. Ooh,
really
okay. And look at this. Now I'm gonna get this thing just right. You know. Oh, I went too far. Okay, I can see I went about that much too far. I'm gonna go over here. Oh man, it's getting close.
Yeah.
And I'll sit here just milliseconds, and I want it to be just right. And then I can go here. Now you have to turn that off typically if you want, because it can mess up your edits if you're done, if you leave it on.
What are you turning off again?
Show audio time units.
Okay, got it.
And so, but now if I mute, I'm going to mute his audio here, and this audio is going to be unmuted, so we'll hear this. So, well, let's do this. Let's do it before and after.
Yeah.
So here is him when we ask him his first question here.
It's a employee-owned company that's been around for a while.
So that's the camera mic.
That's camera.
Okay.
Okay, here's
It's hard to tell which one it is.
Here's your other.
I believe that the first plant was made in 1908. Pretty sure. So it's been around for a long time, and
that is so cool.
And
like I'm getting all excited now.
And then here again under a fixed, don't the one thing that can be confusing. There's this gray line above here that's all your different workspaces, but just be sure you go to where your effects controls are there.
Okay.
And then you can take him. So it's this little one here inside this little box, and then you can take it down like you scale your size, whatever. You can get that. That's how you position him, and you might maybe he says something really great, and you want to, and you'll see as I go through here, his size will change at certain points.
Yeah.
So there we go.
It started out as only just one plant, and then they expanded it over the years. And this one was made in 2000 something. So
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
But so again, the thing I didn't show you the synchronization. I'll make a second video that shows you, because you will be doing interviews. I wasn't thinking about that, and you'll want to be able to sync things.
Yeah.
But that's it. I use Sony mirrorless. 6400 is great.
Are both of these mirrorless?
Both these are mirrorless.
Okay.
I'm sure before the end of the year, Sony's going to come up with a 6600 or something. You might wait, and you know, now this, okay, here again, this one's not made for walking around with. This one's made for putting on a tripod and shooting, or just very, you know, if you're going to do some hand, I always use two hands, and I hold it as steady as I can. I've just learned to do it, and I've even learned how to breathe.
Right.
So that I don't breathe so deep that I affect the video.
Create some camera shake.
But if you're worried, if you want to walk around, this is the one to get. But there will be a new version of this. This is about 2 years old, and it's time for that. There's already talk. They're going to probably put the newest sensor in this one, and then this one will be better by than this. But by the way, this one's about $1,100. This one's about $900.
Yeah. But
both of them shoot superb video, and I use this is my little rig now. That's what I use.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of anything though. You're already using a gimbal. That's awesome.
Just whatever for the iPhone.
Whatever tripod you like.
I've got a good tripod, but I need to get a second one.
So. The ones I like, I didn't bring them in. I probably could show you. They're very highly rated. Let me close this Skype for business. And the reason I like them is they're so lightweight, and they're awesome.
Yeah, the one I had's a little heavy.
This is
a good one.
Yeah. Let me show you Amazon while we're here. I'm just going to go through my purchases and find it. That's probably easy. Let's see my orders. Let me get the ones from 2018. I bought the new ones in 2018.
And so you're talking about just the body of the cameras that are those costs.
Yeah.
And then
Well, they come with most of them. They'll come with a lens like this that is not
just
bad.
Kit lens.
Yeah, but it's actually pretty dang great. That's the one it'll come with. But this, I'm telling you, that's the lens you want right there for zoom. And then you can't hardly beat that one for a nice close up. So I don't know if you took a picture of that. That's the 1.850.
Yeah, that one's really nice.
Get that, because it just looks really nice for interviews.
Yeah, I think about that.
So let's see if I can go to past 6 months. I want 2018. I will show you the exact ones that I can vouch for them. They are great. You see, most of what I buy is my wife buys crap on here too. So we'll see. Mac Trent, that's where I bought both of them.
Okay.
So this one,
that's not a bad price either.
This one is a little complicated to set up, but boy, is it cool and it don't weigh anything. And I take it. It's good for like trails or say you want to shoot something real low or something on a table.
Yeah.
You can set this tripod up where it's this low and shoot something low on the table too. But this one's more of a traditional one. It's called Zome. Let me send you the links to these.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Let's see, all right. And they're both just really good. Although this one here, I'm getting ready to show you, the head was a little hard for me to figure out. But now that I've figured it out, I'm like, I love this, the head on this tripod. And so this is again super lightweight. Me as a freelancer, I want it compact, light as can be, but I want super stable, good quality but very light. So
it's got good reviews.
Yeah, it's got great. Well, they get 4 stars. Some people are just buttholes about it, but I read the one. I knew the ones that like knew what they were talking about, and I said, "Oh, this must be pretty good."
Yeah.
Gmail to Jennifer Wood. Jennifer, your husband's a Wood. Does he know Ken Wood that I used to work for at the hospital?
No, that's funny though. His dad's name was Ken Wood.
Really?
But it's not the same Ken Wood.
Ken Wood.
His family's from High Point.
Okay, cool.
I drug him to Burke County.
Yeah. Jen, Jennifer Wood. Okay, tripods. I'll use this one. I've used different. Here's the thing. I have bought the dang. Who is it that makes the really good tripods? I've got some of them out in the car. I am crazy. I can't even think of it now. But there's some of these are like $250, and I've bought the really nice fluid heads and all that. And if I need a fluid head, I'll bring it in. They're heavier. I'm trying to think who it is. I cannot remember super popular name, but I've just found out stuff like this just trial and error. I've bought 30 different kinds of tripods, and I can tell you these are pretty cool ones here. And it's just, if you don't want to be rolling around moving much, these are great. I believe both of these have gone up a little bit in price since I bought them. Come in and see. Here's the other one.
I'm trying to look for the one that I bought. I am a huge Amazon shopper.
Let's see. Yeah, me too. I watched their TV. I love my Amazon TV too.
I might have got that in 2017.
Let me look for fluid head tripod.
Magnus. This is
those are good.
This is the one I have.
Yep.
That I picked up.
It's nice. That was very nice.
It works really well, but it's not super lightweight, you know. So, and I'm gonna need another one anyway for multiple angles.
Yeah, now, if you're gonna have, you know, and is that one fluid head?
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, if you're gonna be like moving around some in like a meeting and somebody's walking around up front, what you do on a fluid head. I was gonna see what kind it was I used to buy, because they're so Manfrotto. Those are the ones I used to buy.
Yep, those are pretty popular.
And I still got some, but they're heavy, they're unwieldy, like that. This is the kind of tripod I would carry around, or something like that. And now, you know, that was when the camcorders were still yay big and everything, and then the camcorders got this big and then this big, and then you got a DSLR, and now you got a mirrorless camera. I mean, man, you just barely need anything to hold that up.
Yeah.
Just you know, that's lightweight and compact. And you know, if you ever hire a professional videographer, Jennifer, and he comes in with one of these things, just know that's crap.
You know what? We have.
They do it all anymore. It's funny how so much of video to prove that they're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got. It's funny. I did a YouTube vlog thing one time, an interview with there's this guy named Lazario Abelos, and he's a legend in Indianapolis. He's worked in TV down there. He's just an awesome camera guy. I say, Laz, when you go out to shoot a video or a project, I said, I'm curious, do you carry a camera that's like this? And he knew where I was going before I asked it. I've got him on YouTube live in front of thousands of people watching this.
Right.
And he goes, yes. I said, Laz, and I had a little Canon camcorder that's this big.
Yeah.
I said, Laz, if I were to make a box that looks just like one of those camcorders that you carry on your shoulder, and I put this inside it on a little shelf and shoot it, would it look any different from what you shoot?
Put him on the spot, didn't you?
No. It was so funny. I should show you, but it is so, they're so full of crap, these so-called professional videographers. Yeah, but that was a couple of years ago. Now almost everybody's shooting one of these.
The last time I saw somebody shoot with that,
was
just this last fall.
Yeah.
It was a film crew with Our State Magazine.
And they'll have all kinds of stuff hooked up. Okay, and you know, they have all their wireless myths hooked up and all, for audio stuff, and all they got to do is walk up to somebody. Might I clip this song and put this in your pocket?
Yeah.
It is such a racket. So here I'm just telling you right now.
So funny.
Professional does not mean you got a big hump of something on your shoulder.
Well, I wanted to show you the cameras that I have.
Yeah.
And I think you said you shoot Nikon as well. But,
oh, that's awesome! Look at that.
This is
that's an awesome camera.
D810, and it does video.
Killer, yeah.
And then I also have this one.
Well, you've got
that's
a great camera, but you know.
My husband used this one over the weekend. He's got the fisheye on it.
Now, are these yours personally?
Yeah. This is.
I've got a 7200. You got the 75.
I'll just put this lens on it right now. Yeah, this.
Well, these are awesome cameras. Ain't no doubt about that.
I was able to put a photography proposal together several years ago, just because we can save so much money just doing product photography in-house. And I know how to do photography, and because I've shot weddings with my husband for years, and he doesn't do it anymore. He's an electrician, but he does it on the side every now and then.
Do you still do weddings? I've got a woman now begging me to do a wedding. I won't tell her no. I kind of said, you know, mostly I do industrial and you know, and documentary and stuff like that.
Not typically. Usually that's only if it's a favor and it's somebody we know. We'll usually do that.
Because it's such a pain in the butt. And anymore, They want you to come and spend the whole freaking day with them. They want you to come at 9 o'clock in the morning when they're getting their hair done, and they want to party till midnight.
I know.
And the interesting thing, so you do photography or video?
So, well, I primarily do photography. However, because these cameras do video, I'm wanting to use them to be able to do some of this video work I want to do. But you can see that, I mean, these are big, bulky cameras.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't scrap them.
They're still awesome. No, they're still awesome.
So, I mean, I'd love to add like a Sony to the toolbox. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to put together a new proposal because mostly what I've done so far to this point has been photography. And so they need to understand that once we get into more video work and we're doing more of these interview type things and the kind of projects we're talking about, I need to broaden my toolbox a little bit. And so these are still great tools and I can use them, but what I had trouble with, and this is why I wanted you to come out and after I saw you do all that you did, was be able to offer another proposal saying, well, if we can add this, this, and this, then we'll be able to do a whole lot more video work.
Well, you'll be able to do it more elegantly and easily.
Yeah.
And does usually the 18, is that what you had there?
Yeah.
Does it do 4K? Is it just 1080p?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I should know that.
I don't know either. I'd say it does do 4K. It's a very advanced camera.
Yeah, it should.
And listen, everything doesn't need to be the only advantage of shooting 4K in my mind is the ability to slide things around.
Well, see,
to reframe.
And that's what I love what you just showed me, because I've gotten like just a tiny little bit of projects I've worked on. I really needed to edit what I shot a lot better, but I didn't know how to zoom in. I didn't know how to crop frame. I didn't know how to do a lot of that stuff yet. And so to me, when you say you're shooting 4K, in my mind, I have to put it in the way I understand it.
Yep.
Is like when I shoot with these cameras photography, I always shoot raw.
Raw, camera raw.
Just because I love the flexibility
I do too.
editing.
Go into Adobe Raw or Camera Raw and be able to so much more data there, so much more stuff in the shadows you can pull out.
Right. So I think these are great cameras, and they're good cameras to have in the toolbox, great for photography and some video work. It's just once we got to the point where shooting the video I wanted to shoot, and I had no idea what kind of sound equipment I needed to get.
Simple. The cheap. Doesn't cost much.
No, I know.
It sounds great.
Yeah. And then just really focusing on learning that Adobe Premiere
Pro. And what I've given you is a start, but there's so I have done for 2015 version. There's a whole series of videos I've done, and most of it still applies. But I think I'm going to do a whole new series of these because I make good money off of them on YouTube anyway. I need to be doing that.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try. I'm going to use you as my inspiration.
Okay, great.
and I'll.
You help me, I help you. It's all good.
And the cool thing about the videos is you just bookmark them and keep going back. If there's something you forgot, I know Tony showed me how to do that. And what I'll do when I put these out here, I'll put a chapter marker at each thing that I tell you to do, or like that how to edit the audio, how to increase the gain on the audio, how to make a piece of video move inside of a video frame. Mm-hmm. And I'll put chapter markers there where you open up the video, open up the description, you can just find what you want, and then you don't have to listen to my whole yakety yak. You just jump to where the point is.
Right.
And but I'll do that for you because, like I say, I'm gonna make money off of it anyway, so that's cool.
Well, and I would love to hire you to come out and consult with me on one of my projects.
If you need me for a couple projects to come out, it's awesome that you're editing your own video. Mm-hmm. They don't know what a gift that is. I mean, your stuff you shot with your iPhone was composed really nicely. You have a great eye for what looks good. I like that you're moving left to right. You got your nice little subtle moves and stuff, and the light looked good on it. Yeah, there's a few things you could do to improve it, but I gotta tell you, that's a pretty dang good video. If you're doing that good, you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna be awesome. Awesome video editor.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's but if you need me, I'm right up the hill. And just because I've tried, worked with so many clients that I kind of know what they're gonna like before they see it.
Yeah.
And very seldom do I get somebody that wants dark, ugly, weird desaturated, bizarre looking video.
Yeah.
And if they do and I'm not a good fit, then I'll just step away from it. But no, I will be glad to help you any way you want me to help you, Jennifer. It's cool to know there's another good videographer. I might actually call you up to help you help me on a project or something.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I was just gonna go through. See, I already had started putting a proposal together like months ago. This is way before you came and even did this video. So I really had no clue. I was just literally trying to Google and learn about, like, what about lighting? Do you ever use lights?
Yeah, I had lights. Oh, I did I use new lights on the videos when I came over here?
No.
I don't think I did. I think we had, that's another advantage to using these. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The mirrorless cameras shoot almost in the dark. I mean, and you know what I'm saying, I mean, you don't want to shoot with a light where you're just very challenged light, because the more you up the exposure on it, the grainier it'll look.
Right.
But if you've got just decent light, like in here, the only reason I would put a light on you right now is I know that most women are a little more flattering looking if you're shooting a little bit of golden type light up at them, and it makes all the wrinkles go away.
Oh, nice to know.
Yeah,
Can I just keep a light around me all the time?
Here, walk around with a light.
Yeah.
But so there's a company called Neewer, Neewer. Now these are cheap lights again. And here again, I could
Now I have alien bees.
At the hospital, do what?
I have alien bees back there,
So
but just.
How big are they? Are they like big old? That big?
Yeah, they're the big ones. They're mostly for studio photography.
Well, I mean, this is what I use, and I'll show you. And these are kind of.
Add that to that list.
These are kind of cheap off-brand lights, but God, everybody loves them.
I love cheap off-brand. Something that I can carry around the plant.
I think I'm spelling it right. Neewer light. Neewer, Neewer.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are. And you can get big ones or little ones or medium-sized ones. I just use something medium-sized, and I don't use these with these cans on them. That's here again. That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too much. The thing you'll find out is one of these medium-sized ones is plenty. Like here's one, 176 LEDs, and it depends on where you position them. Or if you're talking about doing stuff that I do, a couple of these. Okay.
Like there might be some areas
you could be over there by that door, and I could turn one of these things on, and it will fill this room with light.
Okay.
This little thing like that runs on batteries. Very powerful. 39. Yeah, I think the ones I got are about $69. And what happened is I had some kind of light, and one of my YouTube buddies, he said, Tony, it came by just in the mail by surprise, and it's funny, I have these fans now. They'll send me stuff for free, and he sent me a really nice like $60 version. The one I've got's probably got about this much more, and then I've got one of these too that's smaller, and so I've got them out in my box, and if I need them, they're about this wide, about this tall, and I get these monopods. I'll show you the monopods I use.
Plug those in, those lights that you just.
I typically they're either way, but I typically do take a long extension cord with me. I like to plug them in if I can plug them in, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Now this, you know, I got the ones that fold up inside themselves. I was looking to see if I could see one of them. But you know, I would say this might be something good for. I wouldn't get these Manfrottos, it's expensive. Here, $19.20. That might be the ones that I use. Smatry. I don't know. That's a little one. That's a little one like this.
Okay.
No, I don't think that is the one. They make a bigger one. If I brought my whole bucket in, it's like the legs go up inside it, and then you screw them out, and then they fold out, and you screw it back on. I was looking to see if I could find the very brand that I use here, and I'm not seeing it. But I can take a picture of that and send it to you too. But I use these monopods, and I just use them for lights. I don't put cameras on them. They're just perfect for putting a light on top of. And I was really hoping I could find the ones because they're so cool. And it always freaks people. To me, it's funny when people watching me set up when I go do the lights, and I unscrew the end of this thing, and then you pull it, and these legs pop out, and they open up, and you screw it back on. Oh, that's nice. You know, it's one of those things that make it. Well, isn't he clever that he's got this crazy thing? But I'm not seeing them on here. But anyway, they're great, and they go up to about 5.5 feet tall. And so I usually have two very compact. I usually have two stands for that, and those two lights. One's about this big, and one's about this big. And usually I only use one or the other. And the one is like super bright. And I do put, they come with like filters. You have like a pink filter or there's an orange filter that goes on one. And usually the reason I like to use it is it brings out the flesh tones look really nice.
Yeah.
And it actually adds a bit of a glow to them. And the Sony, if there's one criticism with the Sonys, they shoot just a little bit toward the blue.
Really?
And by that I mean you know, when you shoot, usually they're just a little not golden enough for me. And so for me it makes it even better, easier for me to handle the flesh tones. Like if I wanted to really improve Catherine's video the other day, I would have brought that and I would have shown a little bit more gold light on her. Anytime I do Kathy Bailey, our CEO, I put that on her because she looks great with that light on her. And without it, she looks kind of wrinkled and washed out.
Yeah. Wow.
And
amazing how just a little tweak in the lighting.
It's almost like
difference.
doing makeup.
Yeah.
But without doing makeup on. And I never do makeup on anybody. Awesome. I just never had anybody ask me to do that. I wouldn't know what to do.
So I have there's probably 3 distinct different video series projects that I am getting ready to map out and execute over the next 6 months. And so one of them is just the whole ESOP thing. We're wanting to really do more internal videos and identify people in different departments talking about ESOP, talking about themselves, very much like the videos that you did. Almost perfect. We love that. So I want to do a whole series of employees in that type of format. And then I'm going to do a video series that's kind of based around the marketing campaign that we've built called Experience the Difference, Experience the Valdez Weavers Difference, where I have 3, I'm just kind of talking through these because I'm probably going to pick your brain a little bit, or maybe have you come in and just consult with me on a couple of the shoots. But like this will be a whole series where the first one just talks about, it's like a company overview, 3 to 5 minutes max video, and then there will be episode videos that will follow up that kind of dig into each key area within our company that really highlight those areas and what makes us different. And so that's another one I've gone through. The great thing is, because of these shoots we've done over the last couple of years for just various projects, I have all this extra footage from what Rex has shot.
And I just copied your.
I'm getting what you sent me. Our state. I'm going to be getting the video that they shot while they're here. So I have a lot of great content assets to work with already. And so now I'm just, for a lot of this, it's just kind of filling in where I feel like I need to add more.
And like I say, the number one thing that you've got is a good eye. I can tell it already. And it's the fact that you're a photographer already and you've done all this. You've got.
Well, and I feel very fortunate because I feel like my team sees that, and so that's one reason they're trying to support me and doing more. And
I love it. See, the thing you're doing here, you're actually writing your story. You got your outline already done.
That I don't really know how to do.
Very few people.
This is kind of the best way I know how to do it.
Very few people know how to formulate the story in their head. That's good. You've almost like you got a storyboard.
Right. And then the last probably really important video series I'm going to be doing is for this whole performance brand we've launched, where I have to go in and I have to make these like how-to clean videos. I'm a little nervous about that, so I'm really can see where I might need to have you come in and consult with me.
I've done a series for the hospital. I did a series on colon prep, which sounds horrible, but it's really cool. They came to me and they wanted to people we were giving them sheets, a couple papers to show them what they got to do to get their colon ready for a colonoscopy. Let's do a video because none of them read the sheets or they don't understand it or something. And so we did a how-to on that. The other thing that's cool is my wife does cooking videos, and so those are how-to videos.
Does she have her own YouTube channel too?
What it is, it's like it's on mine. My channel is a mess but I got a lot of subscribers. I got over 30,000 subscribers.
Wow!
And I know it's crazy. So just look at my name sometime. It's fun. You'll see all kinds of.
Well, no, I've already been on there because I was looking for that those tutorial videos. I just have a YouTube store.